D2 Word Life here with Rip Solo Sokoa Loving Tides.
First of all, no. Second of all, you're the one that loves Solo Sokoa and you want to be part of his MFTs.
No.
And third of all, go fuck yourself.
No. What you said is an untrue statement. You want to know why? Because I hate you, Solo.
No, when you saw the cage match, you're like, I love you so.
So that's what you said when you saw the cage match.
This is what you said.
Nah.
Instead of saying Solo Sokoa, you said Solo fucking cola.
Sokola? What the hell? Solo Sokola. Like that's a flavored. That's a new flavor of Coca-Cola. Like what the fuck?
That's what you were saying.
Oh yeah, just because I butchered his name earlier when we weren't recording anything doesn't mean you have to bring it up here. Shut up and eat your Wendy's Cheez-Its.
I will. Thank you very much.
Obviously not sponsored, but anyway. Here we are reviewing SummerSlam 2025 Night 2. That took place on August 3rd, 2025, obviously in East Rutherford, New Jersey, at the MetLife Stadium, the same as the night prior. And this time the attendance was announced at 60,561 fans, which combined both nights was 113,722 fans in attendance for both nights combined here. And the commentators.
Hogan's son was there for both of them.
Yeah. And the commentators for this particular night were still, way better than your boy Michael Cole.
No, it's your boy Michael Cole. I wish you could see him in his orange singlet.
Yeah, we know you want to see him back again in the orange singlet.
I know you.
And the ring announcer was obviously still Alicia Taylor here.
Every day.
Yeah, like as I was saying, the ring announcer obviously was Alicia Taylor still.
Yes.
So Triple H introduced everybody, welcomed everybody to the show with the show opening pyro. Yep. And he started with
"Are you ready?" Line, "Are you ready?"
Yes. And obviously the fans cheered.
Like, no, I said, "Are you ready?"
Yeah, and Triple H welcomed us to the biggest SummerSlam in history. Whatever. Fire went off, and that's how the show started.
And also saying the next SummerSlam will be in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, for 2 nights.
So SummerSlam
for the first time.
So SummerSlam 2026 is going to take place on 2 nights as well. I believe they said on August 1st and the 2nd of next year.
August 1st and 2nd, yes. In Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yep. And if this year's SummerSlam, 2-day SummerSlam was anything to go by, next year should be okay. Now it's just going to be weird. We're going to be reviewing 2 nights of WrestleMania and 2 nights of SummerSlam.
Yes.
Which I guess makes it easier than just trying to review friggin' one SummerSlam show with like 8 matches jam-packed. Or something,
I watched 2 nights of Hell in a Cell.
I can't. Okay, hypothetically speaking here, can you imagine if Triple H decided to have every pay-per-view or premium live event, whatever you want to call it, be 2 damn nights?
No, the next pay-per-view that has 2 nights is the Royal Rumble.
Oh, God. Wait, I thought next year's Royal Rumble was only 1 night.
No, I said watch. They'll make the next year's Royal Rumble 2 nights.
Ugh. Oh, yeah, and have the women's Royal Rumble main event the first night and the main event the second night.
Yes.
Is it bad I can actually see them doing that at some point? And pretty soon, all the big major pay-per-views will be freaking 2 nights. And I'm like, well, shit. All right. Busy weekends. Anyway, back on subject, we get to our first match of the night, which was Women's World Champion Naomi defending the title against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky in a triple threat match for the Women's World title. And this match came about basically after Naomi cashed in the Women's Money in the Bank at Evolution last month to steal the Women's World title from Io Sky and Rhea Ripley after their epic main event that they had it in process at that point.
Yes.
So yeah, Rhea Ripley made her entrance first to a big pop, followed by Io Sky to a big pop, but Naomi came out, had a special entrance. Yeah, she got played out to the ring by her father on this show.
Yep.
And God, this one could have gone either way. The match kicked off. After the match started, it's like Rhea Ripley tried to go on offense against Naomi, but Naomi avoided the kick or whatever. And Ripley accidentally kicked Sky, but then again, there's no accidental here. And at one point near the beginning of the match, Naomi tried to leave or back off out of the ring when I believe Rhea Ripley was stalking her, and then all of a sudden she backed into freaking Sky on the other side, or vice versa. Either way, she was sandwiched. All right?
Yeah, well, she tried to have them go against each other in the beginning, and then that kind of backfired because she got sandwiched.
Yes. And then Rhea Ripley and Sky proceeded to double team her for a bit before going at each other once again. At one point, freaking Rhea Ripley nailed a clothesline onto Naomi, and then a kick to the ribs, followed by a face-first slam on the mat. Sky came back, hit a missile drop kick on freaking Naomi. And then Sky was pretty impressive with this one, nailing the 619 on Naomi, and Rhea Ripley nailed the German suplex onto Naomi immediately afterwards, which caused Naomi to roll out of the ring, avoid being pinned after the double team moves, right?
Yeah.
Which I thought that was an impressive sequence right there. It's like a little later on in the matchup, Rhea gave Sky the Razor's Edge all the way across the ring, followed by a powerbomb for a 2 count because Naomi broke the pinfall off, right?
Yeah.
But then, how did Rhea Ripley respond shortly afterwards? By sending Naomi into the barricade and to the steel steps. Right?
Yep.
Which, that was followed up with Io Sky hitting the freaking springboard moonsault onto both opponents out there on the floor. Right?
Yep.
And I'm just like, dang. At this point it was getting good here. A little later on, near the end of the matchup here, Sky went for a sunset flip powerbomb, but instead Sky gave Ripley a powerbomb onto Naomi, who was out on the floor, so pretty much hurting one motherfucker with another motherfucker, right?
Yep.
Which I'm like, okay, I was expecting a spot like that from the start, right? But then we get to the ending sequence here. Freaking Io Sky and freaking Rhea Ripley were fighting on the freaking like metal rope, top rope, middle rope, whatever. And Rhea Ripley got the advantage over Sky, nailed a super Riptide or super U onto Sky off the middle rope. Looked like she had the match won, only for Naomi to come in and perform the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up on Rhea Ripley while holding onto the tights to get the 3 count and the win.
Yep.
thus preventing Rhea Ripley from actually getting that visual pinfall over Io Sky once again. No, I know there's way more spots to this, but, this is going to be a long video anyway. But your thoughts on this triple threat?
Rhea got screwed.
Shit, I'd say, but it doesn't change the fact that this was a badass triple threat match from start to finish, regardless. All right? So, yeah, I thought it was a good way to open up the show. Did I feel like the wrong person won with Naomi retaining here, though? It's like probably, but I understand why, because Naomi's next scheduled women's world title defense at Clash in Paris is going to be against Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense for the heel to win with a heelish tactic to escape with the title here. Because I know eventually, I don't know, maybe at Clash in Paris they'll run a Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley match one more time, where the winner will face a world champion at like Survivor Series or something like that, right? And maybe that's where Rhea Ripley can get her win over Io Sky or something. I don't know. Yeah, nothing's set in stone yet, obviously. I'm just speculating at this point. Right?
Yeah.
So either way, I thought this was a great triple threat match to open up the show. So yeah, after the match, Naomi celebrated with a women's world title while Rhea Ripley looked frustrated and complained about Naomi grabbing the tights, but there's no disqualifications. Naomi was able to do that regardless.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and we all know freaking after the match they showed I usually don't talk about this, but they showed an ad for the drumstick ice cream, and, well, that just made me hungry. I'm like, damn it. Right?
Yeah, John Cena sponsoring drumsticks.
Oh, yeah, and then afterwards, that's when they announced that SummerSlam next year will be on August 1st and 2nd from the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We already discussed that earlier. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then they showed some football players or some basketball players and other players or other freaking like celebrities in the ring or at ringside sitting in the seats, including Nick Hogan again, and Hall of Famer Michelle McCool was sitting at ringside out there.
Yeah, with the Undertaker with their kids. Yes.
Yes. And they even showed the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys who were there. Two of the three.
Well, they literally said because the next match was TLC, and they said, "Oh, to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the TLC match, the legendary Dudley Boys and Bubba Ray was like, oh, Devon,' and then Devon was like, what? Get the tables!"
And they also showed the Hardy Boys at ringside as well.
And also saying in October, which is in a couple months, the Slammiversary will be a ladder match.
It's like Bound for Glory.
The TNA tag team titles.
Yeah,
for the last time. Hardys
and Dudleys
versus Team 3D with the Dudleys.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? They're like, yeah, to commemorate 25 years of the TLC match that took place at SummerSlam, the first one, here's two of the three teams at ringside. Can you imagine if they got all three teams there and Edge and Christian were also sitting at ringside? I believe Tony Khan would be ripping his hair out knowing his contracted AEW stars were at a WWE show.
Yeah.
So obviously that's the reason why they couldn't be there, right?
Yeah. But Bound for Glory this year is going to be fucking nuts.
Yeah, for those of you who watch TNA. Which I dabble in TNA, but once in a while. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't really watch the current stuff from TNA. I just watch the past stuff right now at time of recording, obviously.
Yeah, we'll probably be recording, reviewing Bound for Glory 2025.
Yeah, if we decide to watch that or whatever.
Yeah, just to see the Dudley Boys or Team 3D versus the Hardys for the final time.
But yeah, anyway, that being said, we gotta talk about the car crash, which was this. What was it? 6 teams in this TLC match for the WWE tag titles from SmackDown.
City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin versus the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford versus DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus
Fraxium.
Fraxium, Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus Andrade and Ray Phoenix
versus the tag champions, the Wyatt Six.
The Wyatt Six, which no one knew which ones were going to come out, if it was going to be Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan or Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy. But it was Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy. Because they could literally do the Freebird rule where they could have any one of the Wyatt Six defend it.
And I'm sorry here, but when the Wyatt Six came out, yeah, I was sitting there watching it and I was thinking to myself, anyone else cutting onions around here? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because they literally had Bray Wyatt's fucking rocking chair and the fucking lantern that he came out with just sitting there and with his fucking theme song by Code Orange.
Yeah.
Fucking playing. Which I like how they used Bray Wyatt's Code Orange theme song for the Wyatt Six.
Yep.
I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, I was sitting there, I'm thinking, is anyone else cutting onions? I'm getting emotional just watching this dang entrance play out.
Yeah, they freaking waited a few minutes so everyone could get the grass. They're like, oh, this is because Bray Wyatt, because this was the Wyatt Six's introduction to Slammiversary.
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, god damn it.
And I believe this was their first pay-per-view match since becoming a team last year.
Yes, and Bray Wyatt was introduced had his first SummerSlam.
First match
and then they introduced The Fiend at SummerSlam.
Yeah, because Bray Wyatt's first pay-per-view match as the Bray Wyatt character was at SummerSlam in 2013. And then we fast forward. And then
his first pay-per-view as The Fiend
in 2019 was also at SummerSlam. And
so they commemorated that with the Wyatt Six being their first SummerSlam.
So
they literally waited, I think it was like 3 to 5 minutes to kind of give them that atmosphere, like Bray Wyatt's there.
Yep. And obviously this one, I'm not gonna go over this TLC match spot for spot here because Lord knows there was a lot of freaking highlights in this one that we just need to talk about over the others.
And when Nikki Cross showed up, fucking Michael Cole almost shit himself.
Yeah, when he was when they made Wyatt Six made their entrance. It's like, it's a witch, I'm out of here.
It's the witch.
It's a witch, I'm out of here.
She's creepy as hell. Then Wade Barrett's like, well, we need to change our pants for Michael Cole. He just pissed himself.
Exactly. And I'm just like, shit. All right. So obviously, the way to win this match, first wrestler of the team to climb the ladder and retrieve the championships above the ring wins. But there was like tables, ladders, and chairs involved. Not only were they allowed, they were encouraged. Right?
Yep. And they all had the Slim Jim logo.
all over them tables. Yeah, the Slim Jim table. At least we didn't get a freaking fireball ladder like we did at Money in the Bank. So, yeah.
All the teams teamed up against the Wyatt Six after fucking Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis entered. And freaking Dexter Loomis still doing his creepy shit, just going in, sliding into the ring, and then crawling on his knuckles and dragging himself.
Exactly. I mean, he was doing that even in his NXT days a long time ago with his creepy character.
He was doing it even in his WWE days.
And with his first run on the main roster, he was doing that.
Right? Yes. And then Michael's like, yeah, you have Joe Gacy, who was a cult leader, and then you have the dark and twisted, lonely Dexter Loomis.
Yep. Anyway.
And then you have them all together with fucking Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan and Nikki Cross. Yeah, I'm like, you have them all with the fucking twisted people.
Well, anyway, after freaking Loomis and Gacy were sent out of the ring, freaking the Motor get the machine guns dropped the ladder onto DIY, and then there was suicide dives for days by Fraser and Axiom and Sabin also. Right?
Yes.
I mean, there was a lot of spots here, including Gacy giving Fraser the Death Valley driver, and then Profits went to the ring and hit a back body drop on Gacy. Who didn't land by the ladder? Who didn't land on the ladder? Just went right past it onto the floor.
He kind of twisted his body and kind of saved himself, and then the freaking Street Profits are like, well, fuck this, we're going to do it again.
So they grabbed Gacy, so Ford grabbed Gacy, put him back in the ring, and that's when they hit the back body drop onto the ladder.
It was Dawkins that grabbed Gacy, and then him and Ford literally did a back body drop together on Gacy, and literally Gacy just went down the freaking ladder. He just slid down. He's like, da-da-da-da-da.
And then Dawkins then shouted at Ford afterwards, saying to get the tables Dudley style. And that put a smile on the Dudley's face from ringside.
Yeah, that was actually kind of funny because Dawkins is like, Ford, get the tables. I'm like, oh, so now they're selling the Ford company to get tables. Okay.
Yeah, and then what did the Street Profits do? They set up 4 friggin' tables stacked out on the floor, like 2 stacked by each other. So 4 of them stacked total. Style. Yep. And I'm just like, well, somebody's going to be going through those tables before this match ends. Yeah, and then freaking back in the ring, freaking Ray Phoenix was the highlight for this little bit as he jumped on freaking Andrade's shoulders and nearly grabbed the titles without a ladder. It was like one of those blink and you miss it things, right?
Yes.
And I'm just like, damn.
Just like, that kind of reminded me just like PCW with Odene and fucking
LeGrand.
The other guy when they were going for the Intercontinental California title.
There. That was actually an impressive spot. Anyway, and those
Odene was literally just fucking jumping to grab the title. He was almost reaching it.
Yep. And for those who don't follow the PCW wrestling like we do around here, don't know what we're talking about, but it was a good spot to see that night.
Yeah. That kind of reminded me of that. I had to say that, so.
And then Ciampa and then Gargano used the chairs to hit a few wrestlers out of the ring. But then a little later on, freaking, yeah.
They also set up a ladder on the side of the damn ring.
Yes. Yeah, they set the ladder up on the dang ring. Yeah, and then at one point, freaking Loomis jumped off the top and hit a leg drop on Ford through a table. I believe that was on what? The outside of the ring that happened, that spot?
Yes.
Then Phoenix went up and hit a frog splash on Fraser through a table as well immediately afterwards. But anyway, let's just get to this spot real quick. And this spot, to me, was one of the highlights of this one, like the major one to talk about. Candice LeRae, as we all know, is the wife of Johnny Gargano here.
Yes.
She interfered in the match, tried to climb the ladder, but B-Fab stopped her, but B-Fab stopped her, but she came back to the match. Nikki Cross came in, nailed a belly-to-back suplex on B-Fab off the ladder onto the mat. We knew there was going to be interference from their respective valets anyway, or managers.
Yeah.
So LeRae got up. Everyone was down. LeRae got up, freaking climbed up the ladder, but she couldn't reach the championships. Gargano was actually holding the ladder into place. And at one point, Ciampa got knocked into Gargano, who was holding the ladder. Gargano accidentally knocked over the ladder, and LeRae went bumping into the ladder
Through
bridge.
the ladder.
Yes. Candice LeRae ended up taking the bump through the ladder bridge. That was like at ringside. In a holy shit moment that I did not see coming, did you?
I'm like, well, he is fucked.
Which led out to a funny tweet that Johnny Gargano freaking made saying, "For those who are asking, I did not sleep on the couch. We were in a hotel room. We were in a hotel room. They didn't have couches." And I swear somebody responded saying, "Then you slept on the floor." So, yeah, that was a holy shit moment. I did not expect to see that, right?
Well, Candice LeRae went literally kidney and back first.
Through the ladder.
Right through the freaking ladder. Fucking just crumpled her.
Yep. Yeah, and then at one point, freaking, it looked like I believe the Street Profits freaking looked like they had the match won, but Eric Rowan showed up, put a stop to that. And then the Street Profits then attacked Rowan here. And Rowan ended up freaking going through the table that was propped up in the corner. Right?
Yeah.
So Ciampa went up, but was unable to pull the freaking titles down. But the ladder that was supporting Ciampa was taken out from under him, so freaking Ciampa was just dangling from the apparatus where the titles were being hung, right?
Yeah, and then Alex Shelley fucking tried to get him, and then he fucking went spider monkey.
Yeah, by doing a pull up on the freaking apparatus that he was suspended off of, right?
Yes, and then fucking Nathan Frazier got him.
Yeah, and then Gargano freaking super kicked Frazier to take him out of it. Freaking the ladder was put back underneath freaking Ciampa so he can actually climb down, right? But then Ford jumped onto the ladder to stop Ciampa from winning the match, right?
Yeah.
But then Axiom then put a stop to freaking to that from the Street Profits from taking this one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then there was freaking all six who were near the top of the ladder, but they tried to reach the championships, but they couldn't do it. But then all of a sudden, Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy got involved, and he shoved the ladder so that Ford and Axiom were on, making them bump off the ladder onto the floor, right?
Yeah, he also used the mandible claw.
Yes. Yeah, and then freaking, then Howdy shoved another ladder that DUI were on, both members of DUI were on, and they went sailing from the top of the ladder through the four tables that the freaking Street Profits stacked up. So they were out of the equation at this point. Right?
Yep.
I mean, this was just a car crash and a half here at this point. And then Howdy then gave the mandible.
Phoenix went up to get the titles, and
Frazier
he
tried
got taken down by.
Of course, Frazier did try to climb the ladder.
And freaking Joe Gacy with the power bomb.
Yes. Of course, shortly after that DIY bomb, freaking Frazier tried to Frazier tried to climb the ladder to retrieve the championships, but Howdy again came back, gave Frazier the mandible claw, but Phoenix battled Phoenix battled Hardy on the ladder, and Andrade and Howdy went after Howdy as well, and then Andrade nailed the sunset flip powerbomb on Uncle Howdy into a ladder bridge, putting Bo Dallas out. Right?
Yep.
In a spot that looked insane. Of course, Phoenix near the end tried to climb the ladder, but Loomis nailed Phoenix in the back with a chair. And then Gacy and Loomis nailed a double team suplex on the Phoenix. And then Loomis sent friggin' Andrade out of the ring, which allowed friggin' Gacy to climb up the ladder and unhook the championships, giving the Wyatt Six the win here. After this car crash of a match, it looked like a friggin' tornado ripped right through the arena. Right?
Yep.
Your thoughts on this matchup?
I couldn't look away. It was car crash.
Exactly. So many high spots. I tried my best on analyzing the high spots on this one. But that's just a match that you should go back and watch for yourself. I actually may watch that match back again one of these days. But obviously, to me, that was a great match. Probably one of the best TLC matches I've seen in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Ugh.
Yep.
And then following the Wyatt Six's little celebration pose at the end of the matchup, which I enjoyed seeing there. Another commercial aired for WWE's Unreal series on Netflix. Have you even seen that one yet?
I've dabbled.
It's like me. It's like I'd never seen that yet. I don't know if I'm going to or not, because people give it mixed reviews. And then they show the replay of what happened at the end of night one with Seth Rollins cashing in on CM Punk, winning the world title, which we already spoke about last night. Or yesterday, I should say. Right?
Yes.
So, yeah, and you want to talk about a hard-hitting matchup? That's what we're going to get now. Obviously, I don't think this match had a chance of topping the TLC match, but it was still a friggin' fight, nonetheless. And I'm talking about the no disqualification, no count-out. Why can't they just call it no holds barred instead of calling it no count-outs or no disqualification? That's a mouthful, but regardless, this was for the Women's Intercontinental title between the champion Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria here, with the stipulation being that if Lyra Valkyria lost, she can no longer get another Women's Intercontinental title match as long as Lynch is a champion.
Yep.
After both made their entrances, Is it easy to say that?
Also the debut of Becky Lynch's new entrance as well.
Yeah, Becky Lynch had a new entrance theme as well, and I know that'll piss a lot of people off. But it's whatever. I didn't care much for the theme, but I'm not gonna sit here and hate on it. I mean, a lot of people were pissed off when Roman Reigns changed his theme song to what he has now when he got rid of the Shield theme, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Lynch is a heel, so I guess she had to have a theme song that reflects her heel business, her heel character, right?
Yeah.
And is it safe to say that Lyra Valkyria was the aggressor early on in the match? With strikes, she sent Lynch into the freaking turnbuckle here. Not once, but twice. Right?
Yeah.
And then the match spilled to the outside shortly afterwards, which that didn't really take long. When Lynch sent Lyria's face into the commentary table.
Lyra?
Or
not Lyria.
Lyra's, whatever. I can't fucking speak. How come we do these when I can't speak? Well,
Because you
whatever.
have nuts.
Well, whatever. On the outside, freaking Lyra went after Lynch, who freaking reversed Lyra's momentum by sending Lyra face first into the commentary table. There you go.
Yeah, but they also, on the outside, Becky Lynch grabbed a kendo stick, and then freaking Lyra grabbed a
crowbar.
crowbar.
And then Lyra hit the kendo stick out of Lynch's hands. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then Lynch avoided the crowbar swing, and then Lynch sent Lyria into the steel steps. Lyra, what? God damn, that's it. You talk about this match. I'm done. I don't care what my damn contract says.
Do it.
What are some other great spots we're talking about? We're talking about some great high spots here for this match. Lyra sent a freaking
Becky
table.
Lynch literally zip tied Lyra Valkyria to the hands with fucking zip ties.
Yes.
But with one big zip tie and literally was beating the shit out of her.
Yes.
And then beat her like a pinata when she fucking hung her up on the freaking ring post.
It's like, yeah, that was a little bit later on in the match when Lynch found the toolbox. And she freaking zip-tied freaking Lyra's hands together. And started just beating the heck out of freaking Lyra when she couldn't even defend herself.
Yeah.
And Lynch even freaking came at freaking Lyra Valkyria and smashed her in the head with a wrench for a 2 count.
Yeah.
How was that not a 3? Because if you nail someone legit in the head with a wrench, that'd be enough to knock them down for good. Probably kill them, but either way.
Well, she also tried to use her Happy Gilmore golfing
With the kendo stick. Oh yeah, speaking of which, you said you've seen that movie too recently.
Yes. Which I was surprised. I didn't even know that I knew that they were doing a movie, but I didn't know that they were going to be in freaking Happy Gilmore 2, and MJF was one of Adam Sandler's kids.
Yes. And then a little later on, after the whole kendo stick spots and wrench spots and everything else, it's like, well, Lynch and Lyra are on the outside near the turnbuckle, so Lynch decided to trap Lyra Valkyria up against the ring post, and Lynch proceeded to hit Lyra in the ribs with a kendo sticks a few times. It's kind of like the same spot we seen John Cena in against his match with The Miz years ago.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure when Lynch initially freaking set Lyra Valkyria up with her hands trapped up on top of the ring post, somewhere Shane McMahon was having freaking flashbacks.
For a second, I'm like, well, too bad they didn't have car battery.
God damn it! You know the spot I was referencing there. Right.
That was at SummerSlam.
Of course, afterwards, Lynch. Yeah, I think freaking Lynch nailed freaking Valkyria freaking or Lyra Valkyria freaking like 5 more times with kendo stick shots. After the initial ones
She
that she
beat her
nailed.
like a fucking pinata.
She's like, come on. When is the Reese's gonna fall out? Basically.
When's the Reese's Pieces? When's the M&M's? When's the Butterfingers coming out?
Yeah, and then after they were done with that spot, freaking Lynch brought Laria back into the ring, where Lynch then nailed a leg drop, hit a leg drop for a 2 count. Most normal people would be staying down at that point.
Yeah.
But despite having her hands freaking like tied in front of her, freaking Lyra managed to put her hands around Lynch's waist when Lynch tried to do a belly-to-belly suplex. But Lyra tried to get one of her own, and it didn't freaking, she didn't get all of it because her hands were stuck together. She couldn't release the hold, or Lynch to get the hold.
Yes.
The move properly done. And is it just me? Or is it just me, or after Lyra Valkyrie went up to the middle turnbuckle and nailed a moonsault for a 2 count, is it just me, or during the live feed of the show, you could actually see freaking Lyra Valkyrie's hands not being tied anymore? And she was like, oh shit, I gotta freaking put that back in place.
No, they were still tied because you could literally, it kind of loosened, but you could literally see her hands were still tied. They made that mistake too, is when Michael Cole's like, oh, her hands are not tied. Her hands are tied. And then they looked again, and I was like, oh, yeah, they are still tied. My mistake. It was just a split second where the camera didn't catch it correctly.
Well, the split second, I don't know. I could have been botched there.
It wasn't.
Could have been a botch there because for a split second, it looked like her freaking wrist was free out of that. And she put herself, be like, oh, I got to put this back in here. Look like it, right, to me.
Yeah, but that wasn't what happened.
Yeah, and then freaking, then on the outside, Lyra was trying to find anything to cut the freaking, wrist ties off, or the zip tie off. Couldn't find nothing, and then ended up using a fire extinguisher to spray in freaking Lynch's face.
Yeah.
And she tried to use the freaking fire extinguisher to cut the freaking zip ties off, but that didn't work either. So she went under the ring and disappeared for a while. Maybe there was a technician on the ring that cut the freaking shit off for her. We don't know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then next thing we know, Lyra Valkyrie came out unfreaking tied from under the ring with a kendo stick. And then she used it to nail freaking Becky Lynch several times because Lynch thought she was still freaking incapacitated or tied up. But nope, that didn't happen. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a little later on, after some more high spots, including Lynch nailing a manhandle slam onto 2 chairs. Oh no, Lyra, only to get a 2 count here. Yeah, and then also freaking, also a little later, Lynch put a chair around Lyra's throat and sent Lyra into the barricade with it. Looks like that's a move that The Undertaker probably would have used back in the day.
She didn't put her into the barrack. Well, she did and she didn't. Then she fucking was like, oh, I'm not done with it. I'm going to put her into the fucking Spanish announce table and then just jump and fucking break her face.
Yes. It's like, the Spanish announce table spot. Lynch kicked the chair around freaking Lyra's neck. And then freaking Lynch went to attack Lyra with a crowbar, but then Bayley showed up and stopped Lynch from using the freaking crowbar. And Lynch tried to tell Bayley to attack freaking Lyra with a crowbar and how those two used to be freaking tight with each other. You know, a lot of history between those two, but Bayley refused and threw the crowbar down, right? Which prompted freaking Bayley and Lynch to go at it.
The crowbar, Dustin? Really? The crowbar?
The crowbar, whatever. We gonna talk about my speech, and are we gonna talk about how crappy my speech is right now, or are we gonna finish this match? I'd rather go for option B right now. Right?
I go for E and B. Thank you very much.
But yeah, Bayley attacked freaking Lynch with punches at ringside. And then Bayley even sent Lynch into the barricade. And then later on, freaking when Lynch and Lyra Valkyrie were back in the ring, Lyra nailed a leg drop that put Lynch through a table on the floor on the outside. Yeah, and then back in the ring, freaking, Yeah, and then back in the ring, it's like Lyra Valkyria went for a finishing move, but Bailey took a swing at Lynch, but Lynch moved out of the way, and Bailey ended up nailing Lyra instead. Which prompted Lynch to nail the manhandle slam on Lyra Valkyria to win the match and retain the Women's Intercontinental title. Thus, meaning that Lyra Valkyria could no longer get it.
Or freaking Bailey just standing like, what the fuck did I just do?
Instead of breaking the pinfall, she just stood there and watched it happen. Right?
Yes.
So, yeah, that means Lyra Valkyria can no longer get a women's Intercontinental title match as long as Becky Lynch is still champion. All thanks to Bailey. Your thoughts on this one?
It was a good match. It was hard-hitting.
Yeah, I think this was one of the better showings between Lynch and Valkyria here. Despite the fact that
also Lynch told Bailey it was supposed to be her, the two of the four horsewomen. Those two were it was supposed to be her, but instead Lyra butted in.
Yeah.
Thinking that would help her turn Bailey to her side, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, does this open the door for a possible Bailey versus Becky Lynch feud? Possibly, but it does also possibly open the door to a Lyra Valkyria versus Bailey feud too. So there.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm thinking one of the two things will happen.
But it won't be for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. She can't get it.
Yeah, but as long as Becky Lynch is still champion, so until Becky Lynch loses the title, Lyra Valkyria cannot challenge for it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, let's say Bailey challenges Becky Lynch for the title and actually beats Becky Lynch to win that title. That means Lyra Valkyria can challenge for it. We got a different champion at that point. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was a decent scrap between the two. The ending felt a little flat and predictable, but with Bailey's interference. But either way, that doesn't take away of how brutal this match was. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, then afterwards, we see a commercial airing for WWE Crown Jewel in Australia for October 11th, so that's going to be fun to watch during the daytime, right? And review.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they showed Jelly Roll at ringside, along with a couple of NFL players, right? Who were in attendance. And now we get to talk about your favorite match of the night of this show, which was that steel cage match for the United States Championship between U.S. champion, your tribal chief, Solo Sikoa.
No, he's your tribal chief because you want to be part of his family tree.
No. Or what you like to call him now, Solo Sikola.
No, that is you.
Yeah, and whatever. He was defending against Jacob Fatu. This one, I'm going to be honest with you. I looked forward to this match, and it just didn't do it for me. Right?
Well, he literally had the MFT literally there ringside. Fucking Jacob Fatu comes out. It's him versus Solo for a while. And then who interferes? Tama Tonga.
Yeah, but we know in this steel cage match, the only way to win a steel cage match is by pinfall, submission, or by escaping the cage by going over the top or through the door. Oh my God, you can win by going through the door. That's preposterous. Right?
Yes.
After both men made their entrances, Jacob Fatu was in control early on, just dominating Solo. including Solo, but Solo fought back, gave Fatu a back body drop under the cage. Solo then splashed Fatu into the cage 2 times, and then Solo ended up hitting a running senton splash on the freaking Fatu, or Jacob, right?
Yeah.
And then freaking Solo did some trash talking, but Jacob didn't want to listen. And then a little later on in the match, freaking Solo wanted to leave by going throughout the door. But Fatu grabbed his foot to put a stop to that. Yeah, and Fatu then ducked a Samoan spike attempt and nailed a super kick on the Solo. Right?
Yeah.
And Fatu also finished that with a running lariat here. And then a little later on, we see the interference. Tama Tonga came out, JC Mateo came out, Tala Tonga came out. Right? As well.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy Uso then showed up, nailed freaking Loa and JC with super kicks. I think Tama Tonga found a way into the ring over the top.
He climbed over the steel cage, but got fucking beat the shit out of.
Yep. But Tala nailed Jimmy with a boot to the head on the outside. And then Tala then sent Jimmy over the commentary table. And then Fatu shut the cage door, because he's all gas, no brakes apparently, to prevent Solo from escaping at this point.
Yeah.
Of course, it didn't matter because Solo then hit a freaking Samoan spike on the freaking Jacob for a 2 count. And this was after Solo kicked out of the Samoan splash earlier.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's called. Or Samoan drop earlier that Jacob uses. Right?
Yeah.
And then Solo went to the top of the cage, but Jacob pulled Solo down off the top of the cage. And yeah, that's when freaking JC and Loa each climbed the cage. And then freaking Loa ultimately got into the ring, like I mentioned, but he was taken out anyway. So non-factor that was. And then Solo tried to climb out. Of course, then JC freaking produced a pair of handcuffed freaking Jacob to the cage.
It wasn't JC that did it. It was Tala Tonga that fucking was up onto the cage, produced handcuffed the freaking top of the cage, and then handcuffed Jacob to that, and then freaking told Solo to climb out of the cage, to get out of the cage.
JC opened the door.
Jacob fucking snaps the damn handcuff chain.
And he grabs Solo to stop Solo from escaping the cage, but yeah, and then freaking I think
Tala Tonga freaking goes and runs into the
cage door.
He does a big boot to the door, which got both Solo and Jacob.
But despite that, Solo was still able to freaking crawl out of the cage and retain the championship. And somewhere freaking Jesse Ventura was ripping what was left of his hair out because another escaped through the door. Right? Finish.
Yep.
Of course, after the match, Solo sent JC Mateo back in the ring to attack Fatu or Jacob here, but Jimmy Uso got back up, super kicked JC, and then Jimmy sent JC into the freaking cage and pretty much shut the door, which left Fatu to beat up JC and Loa into the cage. And then Jacob eventually went to the top of the steel cage and performed the moonsault onto Loa and JC to end the segment with.
Yep.
Why didn't they do that moonsault spot during the match? I have no clue, but your thoughts on this one? This one I really wasn't into until the match was done.
They really need to do another match, Solo versus Jacob, but have the fucking MFTs out of there.
It's like, oh, why is that, buddy? We know you're a big fan of the MFTs.
No, I am not.
So yeah, despite it being a steel cage, a match designed to keep people out and interfere and prevent interference, there was still interference.
Exactly.
I mean, this is getting like borderline ridiculous at this point.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and then afterwards in the crowd they showed freaking Triple A's Mr. Iguana and Psycho Clown at ringside. I mean, they had a match on SmackDown recently, right?
For the tag team titles that Los Garza has from Mexico.
Yeah, and I think Dominic Mysterio is going to be challenging for one of their world titles coming up as well in a four-way.
Mysterio is going to be facing El Hijo del Vikingo for the Mega Championship.
Yep.
On August 16th. So, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then so the next match, speaking of Dominic, the next match on the card was the semi-main. The semi-main on the card was for the Intercontinental Championship with AJ Styles challenging the trash can Dominic Mysterio for the title. I gotta tell you this, freaking, I like the build-up to this one. All those damn memes. I swear, I'm not making that shit up. And of course, you said your favorite out of these segments was when AJ Styles was posing as like a valet, a doctor, and like a janitor, right?
Well, the whole thing was one was Dominic Mysterio came up with a bullshit fucking doctors now, and then AJ's like, yeah, see, it even says here, you're a punk ass.
Yeah, and then the following week, freaking Adam Pearce like, oh, you're gonna be Dominic, you're gonna be evaluated next week. See if you're 100% freaking healed at this point. And then we just see AJ Styles just praying for Dominic's health to be good. I'm like, what?
The week after, AJ literally sends him a cake. He's literally looking at he's like, oh, thanks guys for get welcome. And then freaking Finn Balor and JD McDumbass.
Yep.
Let's say that wasn't us. And AJ shows up again and just, I'm watching you.
Always watching.
He's like, see, I got doctor. And then freaking AJ just disappears after that. And right when Dominic turns, he's like, see, I got a doctor's note. He's like, huh?
Yeah,
Where the fuck did he go?
Yeah, and then the week after that, that's when we saw freaking AJ Styles doing the pray for Dominic to be better.
Yeah, he's literally on one knee praying. He's like, please let him be healthy. Please let him be healthy. Please let him, and then Dominic's like, God, please don't let me. Please don't. He's like, God, don't let him. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, and then the following week, we seen freaking AJ Styles as a janitor, a valet, and a freaking doctor.
Yes. The doctor was kind of funny because Dominic freaking funny. Then he's like, okay, I'm a doctor. I'll give him CPR, and just starts giving him CPR.
He's like, and Dominic was like, ah, shit.
And then he just accumulated to him tagging up with the Kabuki Warriors to face Dominic Mysterio, Raquel Rodriguez, and Perez.
Man, I gotta say, this fucking whole rivalry between these two was meme worthy. Right.
The whole thing was a meme.
Yes. Yeah, and then Dominic Mysterio came out first, wearing his mask, his everything else before taking it off. But what did AJ Styles do to give us one last meme-worthy thing? To play mind games with Dominic. AJ Styles music hit.
Dominic was celebrating his 20th year in the industry because he had his first debut was as a kid at SummerSlam for the custody battle
that Ray and Eddie Guerrero had.
And then freaking Michael Cole, AJ told Michael Cole before the shows, he's like, "Oh, watch me come out tonight. Look closely at my tights." He freaking literally, his theme song comes up, and he literally comes out with his son with the blonde hair.
Yes.
And in a lowrider, and Styles La Raza.
Yeah, and the tights
on his shirt.
Yes, and
then he had freaking Eddie Guerrero's tights.
He had like Eddie Guerrero inspired tights that Eddie Guerrero wore at SummerSlam 20 years ago.
Yes.
With the Eddie Guerrero style boots, and on the freaking ass it said freaking Styles instead of Latino on there.
Yes.
But still, I'm like, this is the ultimate mind game on the 20th anniversary of that custody of Dominic match.
Exactly.
And the fact that AJ Styles even had his kid with the blonde hair too, that's a freaking like little mind game too. When you think about it.
And that was AJ. That is going to be AJ Styles' last SummerSlam because after next year, well, partially of next year, he will be retiring. He said.
But I'm like, okay, this is a nice little tribute and a little mind game, right?
Yes.
And of course, Dominic, at the start of the match, Dominic tried to run away. He was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. But Styles caught him and nailed him with a backbreaker. And then Styles sent Dom out of the ring, but Dom was already tripped up Styles. And then Dom didn't help, or the trash can, then nailed a freaking sliding drop kick that knocked Styles out to the floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then later on, Dom went for the Hurricane Run off the top, but Styles blocked it, and then Styles then jumped up onto the turnbuckle and nailed a DDT onto the trash can, followed by a clothesline, right?
Yeah.
Well, later on, freaking Styles was able to nail the Pele kick to the trash can's head. I didn't know trash cans had heads. And then he went along with a forearm, but then the trash can avoided the phenomenal forearm, and the trash can was able to nail the Michinoku driver on the Styles for a 2 count. Right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to call him Dom at this point. I'm not going to say trash can for every time I talk about a freaking Dominic move. Right? Yeah, then Dom tried to do the 3 amigos, nailed freaking 2 of them, but Styles stopped the 3rd one with a brain buster. Right?
Yep.
But then Styles, another little tribute to Eddie Guerrero, freaking Styles went up to the top rope, tried to nail a frog splash onto Dom, but Dom got a sneeze up to block the move from connecting. Right?
Yep.
And then Dom then nailed a drop kick on the Styles onto the rope, followed by hitting the 619 on the Styles. Right? But then...
Yep.
But then, a little later on after the move, freaking Styles applied the calf crusher. But Dom was able to get to the ropes, but Styles went attacking on that leg. Right?
Well, he also loosened up his boot.
Yeah, and he also loosened up his boot. But before we get all into that, Dominic freaking pulled the turnbuckle pad off, exposing the steel bolt, right? So the referee was distracted. So Dom brought a chair in, smashed the chair onto the freaking mat, gave the chair to Styles, and then freaking just fell back. Fell back playing dead, like doing the classic Eddie Guerrero light sheet and steel tactic. So what does Styles do? He just put the chair around his neck and then freaking fell back down too, right? And then freaking everyone was chanting Eddie. The referee turned around and was like, what the fuck? Right? And then next thing you know, we see both Dom and freaking Styles was pointing at each other saying, he did it. No, he did it. right?
Yes.
Not gonna lie, that part of the match made me laugh and took me back to that time period, seeing that on a regular basis.
Well, Eddie still did it better.
Yeah, it's still funny to see that reference though in these matches. Right?
Yes.
But anyway, after the little bit of confusion, Styles and Dom went back to freaking going at each other again, with Styles nailing an enziguri kick to Dom's head.
Yep.
But then Dom then sent Styles. Yeah, but then Dom freaking sent Styles groin first into the top rope. So I guess you can say Dom is a dick to AJ Styles.
Yes.
So yeah, but Styles got back up, kicked the middle rope, and then he crotched Dom. So I guess you can say Payback's a bitch, and Styles is a dick to Dom's trash cans.
Yes.
But then freaking Styles tripped up Dom, nailed applied the cash crusher submission hold once again. And after struggling, Styles freaking took Dom's boot off. And then Styles was looking at it like, what the hell? What the hell? But the referee. So Styles nearly hit the referee. Referee went up against the ropes. Dom picked up his own boot, nailed Styles in the head with it. And then Dom went up to the top rope and performed the frog splash to get the pinfall and the win.
Yes.
And then, obviously, afterwards, they showed a replay of the party match where Dom freaking unzipped his boot in anticipation for that. So, yeah. Your thoughts on this match? I thought it was actually a good match, not gonna lie.
It was a good match. Shitty ending, but good match.
And the Intercontinental Championship is still being held by an inanimate object, the trash can. Right?
Yes.
But hey, that a spot where both of them tried to use the lie, cheat, and steal tactic was pretty funny, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It also reminded me of another wrestling promotion where the dude literally did that, and then the other guy drops the steel chair and then fucking throws himself into a table.
Oh shit! It's like, oh shit. That's fun. So yeah, not only
they
did
were both doing the lie, cheating, and stealing.
So yeah,
but the other guy literally throws himself into a table.
So yeah, not only did they do the whole Eddie Guerrero lie, cheating, stealing reference here from this matchup, they also Dominic also did the creative finish where his boot went flying off, just like how Eddie Guerrero match with Kurt Angle ended from Mania 20. Basically is what happened, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, we've seen that somewhere else too here in PCW recently. It's like, damn. What up with everyone freaking doing that type of finish? Yeah, well, it's still creative. And it makes Dominic still look like a slimy little heel like he is anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, I thought it was good for what it was. I was entertained by it, and that's all that matters. Right?
Yep.
Then afterwards, Stephanie McMahon came out to the ring and announced the attendance and the number of the two shows combined, which we already went over at the start of this. Right?
Yes.
And then we go to our main event of the night. Which was for the WWE Championship between Champion Cena and Cody Rhodes, the challenger, in a WrestleMania 41 rematch, but this time it was contested under Street Fight rules. Right? Yeah, and then right before Cody Rhodes' entrance happened, we hear the voice of the late great Dusty Rhodes being played and speaking before Cody Rhodes' entrance here. And then Cody Rhodes came out wearing a golden skull helmet. And Yeah, and the fans were singing to his freaking Kingdom song. Cody Rhodes made his entrance, and then John Cena made his freaking entrance. And when his entrance first started, it was the whole John Cena black and white text on the Titantron that we were used to. Until shortly afterwards, it went back to the colorized John Cena entrance that everyone knows and loves. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I guess Cena recently turned face on the SmackDown prior to this, but everyone was still questioning how legit is John Cena here? Is he going to be a face, or is he going to turn on Cody once again? You know, and Cena and that freaking ring entrance by Alicia Taylor for John Cena, announcing him as the GOAT and the last real champion. Yeah. That's kind of overkill, but I understand this is Cena's last SummerSlam appearance. Right?
Yes. Because he only has 4 months left.
But yeah, Cena and Cody Rhodes stood face to face with each other.
Which is going to be sad to see Cena go in 4 months.
Yes.
So literally at the end of December.
Yes, but let's talk about this matchup. This match started with Cena and Cody looking at each other face to face. And then Cena then freaking hugged Cody, so Cody hugged him back. And is it bad that I got Elimination Chamber flashbacks? Seeing that. Yeah, and then after they were done exchanging hugs, Cena freaking showed his true colors by low-bloating Cody Rhodes and started beating the shit out of him. Just kidding, that's not how the match started. Imagine if that's exactly how the match started. I'd be like, deja vu all over again. Right?
Just kicks him in the nuts. 1, 2, 3.
I'd be like, shortest main event ever, 0 out of 5. No, that's not how the match went. No. Just like the TLC match, there's a lot of big spots here. I'm not going to freaking talk about them all. I'm going to try to talk about the major ones that I noticed that I thought stood out. But yeah, after the freaking the exchange back and the hug exchange in the ring, showing mutual respect between the two, they just both went at it. Street fight was underway when they exchanged punches back and forth to each other. And then they left the ring, and then Cody sent freaking Cena hard into the steel steps. So Cena then sent freaking Cody into another set of steel steps. But let's talk about this one for a minute. Shortly afterwards, freaking Cena brought the bottom half of the steel stairs into the ring. This guy is still strong. Cena's still strong as shit. Because those bottom steps weigh a lot more than them top steps, right? And then freaking shortly afterwards, after some exchange in the ring, Cody Rhodes is on the outside. Cena picked up those second half of those steel steps and chucked him at Cody, who was on the floor, and Cody ended up getting nailed with it. All right?
Yes.
Usually people run out of the way to avoid that, but no, Cody got the brunt of it. And after
Unlike you in 2K.
You throw shit at me all the time in 2K. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you don't run away. You just sit there and take it.
Exactly. And then when I seen that, I'm just like, after I seen that, I'm like, oh shit.
Did that also give you flashbacks of our match for Grande, Americano, and Crash?
Jesus Christ. All right.
When I literally chucked stairs? Yes.
Yeah, he kept chucking the stairs at me, breaking my back. I'm like, how the hell am I still getting up? This is not good. And even you're yelling at me saying, stay down, you son of a bitch. Your back is non-existent at this point.
Yes.
Anyway, back in the ring, Cody was able to nail a disaster kick off the middle turnbuckle, followed by a side Russian leg sweep for a 2 count. Cody knew that wasn't going to end the match. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Cena gave freaking Cody a back body drop over the top rope to the floor. And freaking Cody found steel chairs on the ring. And Cody and Cena smashed their chairs into each other, which ended with Cody jabbing Cena right in the ribs with a chair, followed by nailing the chair onto Cena's back, right? And then Cody then set the chair up against a turnbuckle, but Cena reversed Cody Rhodes' Irish whip attempt and then Cody got sent into the chair into the turnbuckle, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then Cena hit two shoulder tackles plus a spinning slam, which are part of his signature moves. Cena then hit the 5-knuckle shuffle, but then Cody Rhodes then managed to fight back with 2 clotheslines. Yeah, and the fans were hating it. The fans were booing Cody at this point after they were cheering him for his entrance, right?
Yeah.
But then a little later on, Cody hit a springboard Cody cutter for a 2 count. Cody was like, what the hell am I going to do? So he picked Cena up, but hey, watch it, it's a trap. Cena nailed a freaking FU or attitude adjustment for a 2 count. For a 2 count, Cody Rhodes kicked out. Right? Yeah, and then Cody then nailed a twisting crossbody block onto Cena for a 2 count here. A little later on, freaking Cena picked up Cody and nailed an electric chair drop onto Cody for a 2 count. A lot of 2 counts in this match. I'm sorry. But not one shin lock to be seen. Sorry, I felt like I had to put that in there.
I'm looking forward to watching that, you fucking son of a bitch.
Oh, you know you want to. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. We got to finish this. Talking about this matchup here. Yeah, and then a little later on, Cena picked up Cody Rhodes and hit an electric chair drop for a 2 count. I think I already talked about that. Then Cody picked Cena up and hit him with a pile driver for a 2 count. Which, the announcers even put out how dangerous that move is and how banned it is. Wouldn't be a SummerSlam without a pile driver, am I right?
Really?
You know what's funny? Half the crowd was chanting, "You can't do that." The other half was chanting, "Yes, he can." Right?
Yeah. Well, he also got fined for that. Even though it was a street fight, he still got fined for using the pile driver.
Yeah, and then, let's see here. Cody tried to pick Cena up. And then Cena played positive, got back up, nailed the attitude adjustment or an FU. But Cena was too hurt to make the cover. They were both selling. They were both worn out, but they still had more to go. Cena applied the STF on the freaking Rhodes, but Cody then crawled to the ropes.
Rhodes went to the rope, and then
there was no rope breaks in a street fight.
I can't get him to break it, so I'm just going to rake his face against the ropes.
Yep. So yeah, and that's exactly what Cody did, so Cena broke the hold. A little later on, Cena grabbed the microphone and nailed Cody Rhodes in the head with it. And then Cena then jumped onto Cody's back and hit a code red onto the floor. Right?
Yes.
Which that looked impressive. Then Cena then cleared off the Spanish announce table with intention of destroying it because, let's face it wouldn't be a WWE pay-per-view without the Spanish announce table being destroyed. Let's face that right now. Right?
Yeah.
And then Cena picked Cody up, jumped off the English announce table, and gave freaking Cody Rhodes the FU or the AA through the Spanish announce table. Right?
I still call it the FU. I don't give 2 shits what the fuck they call it.
Well, during the entirety of Cena's heel run this year, I kept calling it the FU regardless. Okay, Cena's heel is the FU. As Cena has a face, it's the AA. But either way, it's the same move. Right?
Yes.
So I'll just call it whatever the heck I want. Right? Then Cena then put freaking Cody back into the ring and got another 2 count. Right?
Yes.
And at this point, I'm thinking, what else can these two possibly do? I think I got my answer.
Cody Rhodes hits 3 fucking crossroads.
And then Cena still kicked out, right?
Yes.
Because, you know, when Cena's in Super Cena mode, you have to hit at least 10 to 20 finishers just to put him down, right? At least that's the freaking lore here that I'm getting off of this match. And all of Cena's previous main event matches, right? Cena then hit another, a little later on, Cena hit another attitude adjustment or FU for 1-2 kick out. So Cena pulled out the freaking table from under the ring, brought it, set it up, tried to freaking, he tried to freaking put Cody Rhodes with an FU through the table, but Cody flipped the table over and Cody nailed a DDT for a 2 count. At this point, you could tell these two were freaking exhausted.
Yeah.
And of course, shortly afterward, I think freaking Cody Rhodes set the table up in the corner, but afterwards, Cena and Cody were fighting all up into the crowd and went over near the entrance arena. And then Cena used the guardrail to hit Cody with twice, and then Cody then suplexed Cena up again to the freaking steel guardrail. And, you know, from there, freaking Cody Rhodes and Cena went underneath the freaking staging area where the entrance area is, underneath the stage. So we couldn't see him at all, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we see the freaking, like, little elevator shaft that Cody Rhodes uses for his entrance start to go, blowing smoke, right? And what emerged? Yeah. Cena emerged with Cody Rhodes up on his shoulders, and even Cena gave that devilish grin, right? Because even Cena knew how sadistic this looked, right? So after freaking getting completely back up onto the freaking like rampway area, Cena gave Cody a FU onto the ramp, and at this point, Cody was completely out of it, or looked to be completely out of it. So Cena picked Cody Rhodes up again and put him on his shoulders and walked out of the ring, because in a street fight, the only way to end a street fight is by pinfall or submission in the ring. That makes no sense, as a street fight should be able to end anywhere, but I digress, right?
Yeah.
Because if pinfall's kind of anywhere, you know, Cena probably would have had the victory right there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as freaking Cena threw freaking Cody back in the ring, Cody Rhodes ended up no-selling it like you on 2K. Got right back up and threw Cena into the table that was propped up in the corner of the ring, the turnbuckle. Then Cody then nailed the crossroads to Cena again for a 2 count. Lots of 2 counts here, right?
Yeah.
And then a little later on, Cody tried to nail Cena with a chair shot, but Cena used his hands to block it. So Cody freaking unclipped the bottom, but then later on, Cena unclipped the bottom turnbuckle using the steel bar to nail Cena in the head a couple times. Even yelling at Cena to stay down, basically. Like, Cody looked conflicted about using that weapon against Cena. But then freaking each time freaking Cena tried to get up, and Cody Rhodes would nail him with the steel bar that held the turnbuckle in place. Right? But Cena came back, tripped Cody Rhodes up into the STF. And just like what Cena did to Umaga all them years ago, Cena freaking wrapped the freaking dang ring ropes around Cody's neck. And to try to choke him out with it in the STF submission hold, but that was thwarted because Cody was able to get his arm through the rope and reverse the move, right? But then Cena then kicked Cody in the gut and wanted to go for a AA, but Cody got out of it. Nailed a crossroads for but no, Cody held on. So Cody Rhodes nailed the crossroads 3 times in a row at this point, which we think that would keep a normal person on. That kept Roman Reigns down at WrestleMania 40 last year, so okay, this will keep Cena down. 1, 2, nope, Cena kicked out once again.
He's Super Cena.
And I'm just like, Jesus. Yeah, and then freaking, Super Cena kicked out of 3 Crossroads. Hell, how many Crossroads did Cena kick out of, and how many FUs did freaking Rhodes kick out of? Too many, right? So Cody Rhodes then brought the WWE Championship in the ring. Basically, what happened at WrestleMania 41, but in reverse.
Yes.
Then Cody charged, but Cena was able to get out of the way. Cena was able to reverse it and nail the FU once again. And Cena then tossed the championship down. Then Cena then put Cody Rhodes onto the top rope. And then nailed the freaking Super FU, or Avalanche Attitude Adjustment, or the Super FU, from the top rope, or from the middle rope to get 1, 2, no! Super Cody kicks out. Like, what the hell, right?
Yep.
It's like, what the hell? So Cena was like, you know what? Here's a table. I'm going to set a table up in the ring. And then he put freaking Cody back onto the top rope. Cena's intention was to hit a Super FU off the top rope through the table, thinking that would put Cody Rhodes down for good. But Cody fought back when they were on the top rope, and then Cody then jumped off and gave Cena the Cody Cutter through the table instead. Right?
Yep.
And then Cody Rhodes then freaking stood behind Cena as Cena was trying to get up, did a final salute to the GOAT, Cena, and then Cody nailed one final Crossroads to finally get the 3 count and win the WWE Championship for a second time.
Yep.
Now, before we talk about the end, what happened after the match, which everyone's talking about right now, your thoughts on this matchup between Rhodes and Cena?
It was a good match.
I thought it was way better than their WrestleMania 41 match by a friggin' long mile.
Is the rivalry done between them? Probably not.
Well, speaking of rivalries, I think it is, because speaking of rivalries, I think Cena has his next rivalry, a new rivalry on his hands, if you know what I mean.
Well, Cena still has his championship rematch in his pocket.
Who knows? This may result in December freaking Cena challenging for the title in December and winning his 18th championship on his last night in the company and going out as a champion. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I'm just fantasy booking at this point.
Yeah.
But then...
everyone that is hating this, fuck off.
But anyway, we got to talk about this.
Because this man that we will say, he has finally, and we have been discussing this, me and Dustin,
but
for months.
Yeah. But anyway, before we get to that reveal, before you say what happened, let's set the scene. After the match, freaking Cena hugged Cody, show of respect, in a passing of the torch moment. Cody shook Cena's hand after the match, saying, and we saw Cena say, "That's the best I got." So it was a passing of the torch moment here. And Cena stood in the ring. By himself. Cody Rhodes left the ring at this point. Everyone was chanting the "Thank you, Cena" chants. And we thought, okay, SummerSlam's over. They're giving the freaking respect to Cena for a great performance here. Last time we'll see him at SummerSlam, right? And everyone's just going to go home happy. And the pay-per-view's going to freaking cut off to air. But nope. And then we hear a familiar guitar riff that we haven't heard in a long-ass time.
Yeah, and we've been talking for the year, months. And lo and behold, and like I said earlier, you guys that hate this, fuck off. We have been waiting for this man.
Speculating.
After all the bullshit that he has gone through.
Speculating when it was going to happen. Brock Lesnar freaking made his return, came out to the ring wearing full cowboy garb, wearing this freaking cowboy hat, looking like he was about to kick someone's ass.
Yes. The ass kicker is back.
And Lesnar took his vest off at ringside, took his hat off, and stormed to the ring. And then Cena tried to fight Lesnar, but Cena was too exhausted. Lesnar then lifted Cena up and nailed him with an F5.
Yes.
And then afterwards, Cena left, music still playing, and that's how the show ended. And I'm just like, wow. Didn't expect that coming. I was like, holy when that music started playing. I'm not going to lie. Your thoughts on Brock Lesnar's return?
It is a long time coming.
So, yeah, I mean...
After all bullshit allegation that he went through.
I mean, that just means that Cena's next feud is probably with Brock Lesnar at this point. And I wouldn't mind seeing another Brock Lesnar-Cena fight at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously, I don't freaking grade segments, but if I did, Lesnar's return would definitely be a 5 out of 5 up there, right?
Well, we've been doing that.
Yeah, but anyway, speaking of grading here, we go to our favorite portion of the review, and that's our grading system. Naomi defeating Io Sky and Rhea Ripley to retain the Women's World Championship. I gave that one 3 3/4 out of 5.
I gave it a 4.
The Wyatt Six retaining their tag team championships in that car crash of a TLC match. I gave that one 5 out of 5, no doubt about it.
1,000 out of 1,000.
Becky Lynch defeating Lyra Valkyria in that no DQ match to retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I gave that one 4 3/4 out of 5.
5.
Solo Sikoa defeating Jacob Fatu in that steel cage match to retain the U.S. title. 2 3/4 out of 5.
3.
The Trash Can defeating AJ Styles to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
3.
And of course, the main event.
Well, technically, I give 2 scores for that. Yeah. I give a 4, 4.5 for the entrance for AJ, and 3 just for the match.
Yep, and obviously the main event, which saw Cody Rhodes defeat John Cena in the street fight to win the WWE Championship. I gave that one a solid 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
And of course, I don't rate segments there very often, but Brock Lesnar returning also gets a 5 out of 5. That was totally unexpected, right?
We've done that for the first night with fucking. We've done that since Naomi freaking cashed in her Money in the Bank. So
yeah. Anyway, my final grade for SummerSlam 2025 Night 2, I gotta be honest with you, it's a friggin' A. So overall, both nights for me gets an overall score of A, even though night 1 I gave a B.
My overall for both the nights is an A+.
Were there surprises at this year's SummerSlam? Yeah, 2 surprises. In fact, both I did not see coming. But which one was more impactful? Seth Rollins revealing that he wasn't injured and he cashed in on CM Punk, meaning CM Punk's title reign only lasted a little over 5 minutes, or Brock Lesnar's return?
Lesnar's return.
Both were shocking in their own way. I can't just pick one or the other. So yeah, that's our thoughts on SummerSlam 2025 Night 2. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Now, we get to talk about our next show we're going to be watching. And obviously, for the retro review, I made this I made this known. We're watching SummerSlam 1997. I bet you're ready for some chin locks on that one. You're going to be getting a lot of them.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you yet again.
Just think, it's Monday at time recording, obviously. We get to watch that later on in the week. So, yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll chat with you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our review, and we'll chat with y'all when we're reviewing SummerSlam 97.
On that show was the main event. Well, and the Austin versus the Nugget.
Versus Owen. He's not a Nugget.
He's a Nugget.
He's not a Nugget. You put some respect on that
He's
name.
a Nugget.
You put some respect on Owen's name.
He's a Nugget.
He's not a Nugget. Put some respect on the late
He's a
Owen.
Nugget.
Put some respect on the late Owen Hart's name. Anyway,
The only two matches I recommend on that freaking pay-per-view is the Austin versus the Nugget and the main event, which was
Bret Hart and the
Taker
Undertaker.
versus Hart.
Bret Hart versus Taker. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you want to know the matches I freaking recommend for SummerSlam Night 2 is obviously the TLC match, and of course the main event with Cena and Rhodes. In case you were wondering. So yeah, anyway, that's our thoughts. We'll see y'all later. We'll talk to y'all later in the week when we review SummerSlam 1997. So until then, peace.
Deuces.